Did you know that two private jets belonging to the world's richest man, Elon Musk, produce 5,497 tons of carbon dioxide annually, which averages around 15 tons daily? This equates to the total emissions of an average person over 834 years, or 5,437 years for someone among the world's poorest 50%. Two private jets belonging to Amazon founder Jeff Bezos fly almost 25 days a year on average, and release the same amount of carbon emissions that the average Amazon employee in the US would produce in 207 years. While Walmart's Walton family own 3 super yachts that emit the same amount of carbon in 1 year as do 1,714 of their employees combined. These facts come courtesy of a first-of-its-kind study by Oxfam that was released ahead of the UN's COP29 climate summit in Azerbaijan's Baku. It shows that 50 of the world's billionaires release more carbon emissions in just 90 minutes from their private jets, yachts, investments, and lifestyles than an average person does in a lifetime. The staggering new report looks at how luxury travel and dirty investments by billionaires are causing irreversible harm to the environment. New evidence details how their excessive carbon emissions are exacerbating the climate crisis and harming lives and economies. Nearly 40% of billionaire investments analyzed in Oxfam's research are in highly polluting industries, including oil, mining, shipping, and cement. In just a year, a billionaire's investments in these industries is responsible for emitting almost 400,000 years more carbon than an average person emits in their entire life. This figure rises to 2.6 million years when compared to those living among the world's poorest 50%, and highlights the environmental impact of extreme wealth. Oxfam says the world's poorest countries and communities are facing the worst consequences of this disparity, and identifies 3 critical aspects. The first is global inequality. The billionaires' emissions have contributed to a 2.9 trillion decline in global economic output. Tracing back to 1990, low and lower middle-income countries are expected to lose 2.5% of their cumulative GDP by 2050, with Southern Asia, Southeast Asia, and Sub-Saharan Africa experiencing greater losses. High-income nations, in contrast, will experience economic benefits. The 2 other dire consequences of these emissions are hunger and death. Emissions from the richest 1% have caused crop losses that could have fed 14.5 million people each year since 1990, a figure expected to rise to 46 million by 2050, particularly impacting Latin America and the Caribbean. Meanwhile, low and lower middle-income countries are expected to bear the brunt of heat-related deaths, with 78% of fatalities occurring in these regions. As Oxfam International Executive Director Amitabh Behar puts it, the super rich are treating our planet like their personal playground, setting it ablaze for pleasure and profit. Their dirty investments in luxury toys, private jets, and yachts aren't just symbols of excess. They're a direct threat to people and the planet.